Hello folks and welcome to another Mac Tactics video. Today we're looking at the 451 flat. We're actually looking at two. We're looking at the 451 flat and we're looking at the 451 with the cams. I'm going to drop both codes in on X, so make sure you're following me there, and I will drop the code at the end of the video for this one specifically, but if you want the 451 with the two cams, it's only going to be available on X. Big tactic. A lot of people love this tactic because of the way you can set it up and the way that you can make people move. Now what I want you to pay attention to with my team is the plus plus. So we have plus 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 plus. Now that is making a massive difference. And when I went into testing with this, some people really struggled with this formation, and it's because the movement that you would normally get through L1 or R1 triggering of runs happens with the IQ system with the plus plus and plus. So the better the player is, so someone like Patelis or Bonmati, who are really high rated players within this game at the moment, and Morgan, if you put them on playstyles that are really OP, like Playmaker plus and Poacher plus, and then inside forwards on my two wingers, we know how important those roles are. And what is causing is these players are making this formation and this tactic so much better. So if you're finding you're struggling a little bit with this tactic or this formation, it is not down to you being a bad player, it's down to the way you play the game. And that's what we discovered through testing. This has been testing for over a week. Post-patch, pre-patch, during patch, everything. It has been tested a lot, and that is what I have found out, and that is what I am working on in the future. But I didn't want to not put this tactic out just because some people found they struggled with it. That's why I'm giving you two different alternatives to it. So in this formation, Bonmati and Patelis are playing as playmakers within the centre mid option. On my other account, I have Bruno and Odegaard playing as cams on playmakers plus and a plus as well. And I found that in terms of the shape, it is comparable and they work well with the tactics, but it just gives you that better IQ. And that's what we're looking to do from now on. We're looking to get the most out of this IQ system. EA have implemented it and they're pushing forward with it. They obviously like it, so we just need to roll with it, and we need to make our teams more IQ friendly. So if we get into the team management, there's a code if you want it, J #ILZZ2JTFH. You can pause it. Yeah. Into tactics, we have the preset tactic of 5-4-1. We have build up display balanced, and that is just to keep the team a little bit wider. I'll explain that. And we have a defensive approach again on aggressive. Now, if you have it on aggressive and you go 2-0 up, drop it to high. Please drop it to high. If you're in the second half and you're getting to like 60-70 minutes and you're still on aggressive, you will start to see gaps appear all over your team. Especially someone like Van de Veen who's on stopper. He will start to slow and you will be not in the right places. That's hard programmed into the game, so we have to roll with that too. Player roles, we've got Morgan on Poacher, we've got Patry on Playmaker and Roaming, we've got Bonmati on Playmaker and Roaming, and we have Patelis on Playmaker and Attack. Now I did play about with having Playmaker Attack in the middle, but what I found is having the two roaming ones on one side and the attacking one on the other side worked better when you have a false back on defend and a full back on defend. So my right back is full back on defend, my left back is false back on defend, along with Van de Veen, who's on the stopper. So they're both kind of pushing up a little bit, which is okay because the gap that's in the team from Patelis pushing forward is made up for by one of these two. It's normally Matson, who takes up a lovely position when you've got the ball. King is on defend or defend. Howard is on goalkeeper defend because he's got plus plus. We normally go with Super Keeper. And if you have a Sweeper Keeper with plus or plus plus, do use that because they're so broken at the moment. Van de Veen is just a broken card, so he can play stopper on plus, and he's still fantastic. I need to do that evolution on him as well. I think it's we play possession. Yeah, and Gusto, I want to replace him with someone like Koundé, who has the fullback defend plus plus. He's one of the only ones that really have that. Fullbacks for me are my problem positions at the moment. There we are with the ball. So again, it looks a little bit strange. Now if we put the heat map on, we can see that, you know, we don't cover the top right, but we cover everything else pretty strongly. If you're finding that Patry is moving too far forward, you can put her onto holding, and it'll be a little less players in the attacking third, but it'll give you a little bit more security. You'll have like a back five sitting there with Matson and Patry in front of Van de Veen, King and Gusto. in it. That works really well. That's how I started this, but I moved to this because I just love to attack and play with it. And we're going for attacking with this. This is an attacking team, attacking options. This is like attacking towards ultra attacking on the old system. That is how the team sets up. That is how we are setting the team up. This tactic was tested within the EAFC Tactical Hub, and I am dropping 3 tonight. This is Friday, the 18th. I am dropping 3 new codes into the hub tonight for testing. I'm doing a slightly different thing. There's going to be a 3-back, a 5-back, and a 4-back, all of the same tactic on formations that play very similarly, but set up differently. And we're just going to find out the one that works best, and then we're going to push that testing, and then I'll do a video on that next week. So if you want to get involved with that, please jump into the EAFC Tactical Hub. I'll leave a link to the X, and then on X is an invite to the hub. And once you're in there, open a ticket, and one of the mods, could be me, could be someone else, will ask you for your division and your champ score. We don't care what they are. It's not like we're judging. We're looking for a spread of players across the divisions and across the ability ranges, because that's what lets us know that the tactics are being tested across the board. And once you've given us that and you've confirmed you're happy with doing the testing, then you're in, and you'll get to see all the testers, all the tacticians testing branches, and you'll be able to get all the codes and start testing and feeding back. And it's important that you feedback, because the feedback is what allows us to make changes. That's what's allowed me to make 2 tactics from this one. That was from the feedback. So let's get into some gameplay, and you can see how this plays. Right, let's get into this gameplay analysis. This is take 2. Did it once, messed it up, couldn't hear my words, which is really annoying. No idea how, but I did a test this time, and that test worked. So straight away we can see that we attack because we kicked off. Now we lose the ball, but you can see how wide Patelis has gone there to kind of cover the wing space, which is nice because she's on playmaker attack. You see that Swanson's nice and low, and I'll talk about that, the position on the way that the team sets up. Kind of like a 4-4-2, which is interesting. Rodman do the wrong skill move there, but we recycle it, get a nice ball into Morgan, and we pass the ball to the keeper because we are nice like that. We don't want them to think too much of us too quickly. So straight away on defense, let's have a look. Now, why I say 4-4-2? Hopefully you guys can see it. We've got this weird 4 here, 4-2, but it's a 4-4-2, and that's because Rodman is inside forward, so she wants to play up front. Morgan is a poacher, so she wants to be on the last line. And our 3 in midfield, well, they just kind of sit nicely. And they're married up with Swanson, who, being a winger, wants to play in that wing position. So they move into the left back position. So we have a 4-4-2. So we've actually done it. Something I didn't think we could do in this game. Our defensive shape is 4-4-2, even though we don't start in a 4-4-2. Brilliant. And that is something to watch, because it happens a lot during these 2 games. So we're putting pressure. We have to bring our right back across, because there's a bit of a gap there at times with Rodman playing so high. But as soon as we get the ball back, we can use Rodman as a good outlet. And we dink over the top to Morgan. We try and take a wee clever touch, but the keeper comes out and reads it well. We get the ball back again though, and Rodman breaks the line, and poof, crossball. Now, I am really going to admit that I am a little bit predictable when it comes to those goals now, because since the patch, I have felt my gameplay has forced me into that kind of play. Although we'll see here, low driven, boom. Low driven is, I'm going to do a video on low driven, because low driven is so OP at the moment. Less than 40% power, that's what you want. You do that, you're pretty much guaranteed a goal. We pick up the ball here with Swanson. We go backwards to Matson, who's playing as our false back, so he's going to come inside. We bring him there. And if you notice now, you can stop it here, we have a back 3 with 2 central defensive midfielders. We have 2 strikers, and we have 3 in the midfield, because Swanson's kind of joining the midfield. So normally you'd find Patry dropping back into that position, Bomati going out there, and Patelis going even further forward. But right now we have these 2 players playing as central defensive midfielders, because this is my left back, but on the false back. And the position that they now take up is absolutely phenomenal. They wasn't doing this before patch. They were okay before patch, but they weren't this strong. Look, he's still there. We've got a nice 2. We've got all these options. We can use them. So having a really strong player in that false back position, I wanted that new Trent. Never packed him, so I don't think I can afford him at the moment. But we'll see. So see, we win the ball back here again. We've got Patry in the middle. We're just taking our time. We're finding the passes. And it's really now all about making sure we're getting these wee passes right. And then we do a wee RB dribbling with Bamati just to go through, and we should have scored there. She does it so often for Barcelona, we should have done it for her now, but we mess that up. So we're watching again. He's come forward with Williams. He's looking for that wee through ball through to Adama, who is always going to be a danger, especially if he can get on the last shoulder, but doesn't. Give the ball to Matson again. We're just taking our time. Drill a ball into Swanson. Ball into Morgan. I could have taken a finesse shot, but I felt the ball to Rodman was safer, and then I mess up by trying to do a wee dink ball. But we don't give it up. We stay in the hunt for it, and we win it off the header, and we lose it again. Because he's just quite a good defender. So, again, we are just watching. He plays the ball out wide right to his right back. Cuts inside. Lovely ball. Osimhen messes up the control there, and that's kind of what lets me get in. And then because of the position on the pitch we are, I just play a through ball through the middle of the team, and the poacher takes up that great position off on the last shoulder, and then we low drive it into the near post. Which again, I'll say to you guys a lot in this low driven shot, because they are so good. They're definitely my favourite way of scoring at the moment. Lovely ball forward there, and if Morgan had just checked the run a little bit, we would have been fine. So he brings St Just out, and I was aware of that, and I was trying to win the ball quite aggressively so that I could play a ball into that space that he should have been in, but we don't, so we're now on the defence. Lovely little ball into Williams there, and then his shot just flashes past the post. You're always going to give up some chances to your opposition, unfortunately. So Matson again in that CDM role to Patry, who's, I said, the one that normally drops, and that's why she's in the centre of the three, because she will naturally drop into that position. Alexia brings it forward. We gives it back to Swanson. I've sent Patelis on a run. We get the ball into Rodman, who's really central. We're one passing, and the key, it's annoying that Morgan was offside there, but the key to my passing in this, and it's what I've had to adapt from last year. Last year you could do the tiki taka with kind of no-look passes. This year, vision has to be really high on a player in order to get those no-look passes. He quit out the game there, so we go on to this. But the no-look passes aren't a thing, really. You can get away with maybe 45-degree passes with really good players like Kevin De Bruyne and Patelis and players like that have that passing skill. But players that don't, you can't, and it's a bit annoying. So in this game, this guy was really good, but it ends up a bit of a cricket score. We get lucky straight away with, well, I say lucky, but we produce a really nice run from Rodman, and we feed it through in that gap between the fullback and the centre back that I've talked to you guys a lot about, and we managed to put it away. Low driven again. There, I make a rash tackle, and Patry picks up a yellow card in the 3rd minute, which can be bad, but we get on with it. Swanson, we give the ball away here. Number of mistakes. We miss the tackle. We try and bring Van de Ven across. He hits a finesse shot kind of the wrong way with Martinez, and it goes past Howard. Howard's not the best goalkeeper, but he's untradeable, and he's going to get upgraded at some point, so we keep him there again. Same pass to Rodman, same position. This time the keeper comes out and we can't finish it, but you can see patterns of play emerging, and I think that's what's frustrating me a little bit about EAFC at the moment, where I certainly am looking for the same play over and over again. I feel like we're being forced into that. Whatever we're finding works, we do the same thing over and over and over. But he's breaking, and I think I've talked a lot about the defensive shape, but I need to talk about the attacking shape. So when we get the ball, I'll show you where my team is at. He plays a lovely ball through. We just get ahead of him, King. We preempted that ahead. Now we're having to play quite risky passes because he's got a nice pressure on there. So I've paused the ball here. So we've had the ball in midfield and we've made a few passes out of defence. So we see my left back is starting to move into the CDM role. Van de Ven's quite wide. King's on his own in the middle. So I wouldn't have, if I lost the ball here, I'd be in trouble. My right back's quite high up pitch. Two of my three centre mids are sitting quite nicely. Patry's actually the highest one forward. Swanson is starting the run, but she's a lot lower in the pitch than Rodman. That's just the roles. And Morgan's in the middle. He's got this nice back four sitting there. Morgan's in an offside position, which I quite like. That's one of the things the poacher does with the IQ, is they'll come back from an offside position, and it's almost replicating real life football where the defenders don't always know where they are. which is interesting. Very interesting. We get a lovely ball to Swanson, who just made that really nice late run. We just hold the ball off, cut across, and Patelis has made that lovely run forward. So you've got options all over the pitch. You've got goal scoring opportunities all over the pitch. Your two attacking centre mids are really important. Or if you're doing the second variation, the two cams, they do the exact same role. Patry to Morgan, Morgan to Alexa, and I love the little ball. And then the first time over the top lob. I actually thought she was offside. That's why I just went for it. I had so much time to pull that down and go around the keeper, but I thought it was offside. Always play to the whistle. Patry makes a big tackle there. I was a little bit nervous, not going to lie. If I'd gone down to 10 men, this would have been a really difficult game. Rodman's so central. We get the ball to Alexia, and she manages to burst through, and Morgan stays onside, which again is a feature of the more higher rated players. Their attacking positioning is just better. We pick up the ball in midfield, we lose it again. He's got a lovely ball outside to the left. We're not trying to tackle him, and if you notice here, this is something I talk to a lot of players about when they're talking to me about their defending. When the ball's here, I have two options, right? And a lot of people will grab this player and they'll try and take the ball away straight away. They'll try and tackle them, and that is valuable. That you know, if you're good enough, you can be that aggressive. Some people are that aggressive. I am not. I would miss this ball, and 99% of us would miss this ball. So the way we need to be running is back the way. We always need to be pulling whatever player we've got. We are going back. Now, if you go straight back, perfect. If you're a little bit more confident and you go back at the angle so you can intercept them, fine. More of a chance to miss this, but if you go straight to them, I'm missing them. The likelihood is most of us are. So it's important that you do that clever attack, that clever defensive move, and just run back. And then you can get yourself ahead. I'm going to say on that one. Love the ball to Rodman, get the ball to Morgan. Don't have the pace to get past, but we do have... Oh, we should have been a great ball through to Morgan, but I messed this up. We had Morgan on the run. Joe Cole's always a dangerous player. Can do things like that. Gusto just gets his toe in front of Joe, remember who it was. King to Bomati, Gusto, Patry, Pateles, Van de Veen. See Van de Veen taking up that kind of left back position. Pateles to Morgan, Morgan to Swanson, Swanson to Patry, Morgan. And we play the overlap for Swanson, who's offside. I never should. I almost had all 11 players touch the ball in that move and score a goal. And that kind of shows you the range that this formation has and what you can do. Could have made a sub there. Never noticed that. So, we win the ball in the midfield. And we start our move again. And you see that I am always playing directly towards the player. I'm facing the player. And I'm passing to the player I'm facing. I'm not trying any awkward 45-degree passes. Everything is getting played to the player. To their feet. Rodman in the middle. Excuse me. I never realised that Trinity Rodman was Dennis Rodman's daughter. Is that true? I heard someone say that, but I'm not entirely convinced that's true. If it is true, let me know in the comments. And for anyone that doesn't know who Dennis Rodman is, you're too young. You're just too young. How are you on my channel? He's a basketball player. So once again, we've lost the ball, but you see how quickly we can get players around it. And that's what some people struggled with when they were testing it, was feeling isolated. I'm not entirely sure how anyone felt isolated. You see the number of passes we have, you see the ability to get forward. I think under a really high press, I have found this, it can be a little bit isolating up top, but that's where Rodman comes in with that inside forward role. And you see how high my left back is there in that false back role. They're providing that extra person, so it does completely change the dynamic of the team. And then Rodman with the low driven finish. And you see where she is. She's taking up a striker role right in the middle of the box. That's inside forward. It's so boosted with the recent patch. There again, Van de Veen, that's the stopper role there. That's what he does with the stopper role. He steps forward, he intercepts the ball. That's why he gets a bit tired towards the end of the match. Morgan with a lovely little goal. We just created a little bit of space with the heel to heel. He wasn't expecting like a regular heel to heel, which meant we created a little bit of space because she isn't the fastest player, but very, very good in front of goal. Patry just jockeying. See, I'm not diving into the tackle. Alexia just boosted in and grabbing the ball there. I never try and dive into a tackle. I'm always trying to position my players in a place where I can get between the attacker and the goal, or the attacker and the next pass. That is a lucky pass. I got away with that one. Never should have been there. So we go back out to Madsen. Alexia, lovely ball into that gap. Morgan ball rolls around the keeper and just knocks it away. And this guy was a decent player. Like, he's not a bad player. When you're watching this, you might think you'll notice all the mistakes that he makes, you'll notice all the mistakes that I make. And that is part of the process. That's why you should be recording your games and watching them back. Hard as it is. Especially after a loss. You'll learn a lot after a loss. Big switch up. Doesn't really work when you've got quite a small team. Majority of my team are women. Very, very, very good footballing women, but short. And that's the annoying thing. With my corners, I think it was Swanson. No, I put Patry because she's 5'10". I think she is anyway. I put Patry on the front post. Using Stokes' corner technique, I've scored a couple with King and Van de Veen. It's on his TikTok if you want to see it. Right, that's how it sets up. That's how it plays. Lovely team to play. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're playing this one or the other variation. All that will happen in the second variation is your cams will sit a little bit further forward. Right, let's get into the roundup. Oh, like, subscribe, and comment because you guys are. So, final thoughts. The 4-5-1 is a formation that you're going to see a lot more of after the patch, I think, because the 4-back is a lot more viable compared to the 5-back. The 5-back is slightly different. It's going to take people a wee bit of time to get used to. I will have a 5-4-1 available at some point because you know I love that formation, and it still works. But we will see more of this. I like the 3 playmakers across the middle because, as you've seen from the gameplay, they move in a very particular way along with the inside forwards. Now remember, the inside forward role on the left mid and the right mid were buffed in the latest patch, and you've seen that. You've seen Swanson, who's playing an actual winger, and you've seen where Rodman popped up. Now Rodman was playing kind of as a second striker to Morgan, which allowed the 3 in midfield. Patry automatically dropped deeper in that centre mid position. That's why when I had to take the attacking role off of her, Patelis was there, but that's why I had to take the attacking mid out of the middle, because that middle position just automatically drops. And when you've got your left back on false back, which could be your right back as well, doesn't matter, you end up with these 2 players playing in front of your back 4, and it becomes this really nice, unique formation with a really nice setup. I was really happy with it, and I was really happy with the goals I was scoring. I'm going to put a video out on the low-driven shots because you'll notice I score a lot of them. They are, in my opinion, the most effective way of scoring against goalkeepers this year. Under 40% power, but I'll save that for the video. Yeah, I love this formation. I'll put the code on X for the code is on X by the time you see this for the cam version of this as well. It plays exactly the same except you have cams, so they're high up the park, a bit more attacking. But they will drop back into a similar position, and your center mid in that one will stay deeper. I think both these formations are kind of hard coded to play the same. Especially when you take roles and IQ into account for it. So a really, really fun formation to play, something that allows you to do something different. I don't know if I showed you any long passes, but long passes are still really good in this game. So Patry's still really good. Putelis and Bomati are just all around brilliant cards. Morgan's a fantastic poacher. Poacher plus is just so good. And you've seen how Van de Veen stepped up as that stopper to intercept a whole load of stuff, which is really good. Give this a go. It's a little bit more high skill than some of the other tactics I put out. This one isn't just a simple plug and play. You will need to change a couple of things depending on your playstyle. Like you might need to have the stopper on the right hand side, you might need to have your false back on the right hand side, you might need to have your winger on the right hand side and your inside forward on the left hand side. All that's doable. Swap it for your gameplay, swap it for how you want to play, and give us a go and let me know how you get on. Get into the Discord and give me some feedback on it. And I will update this in a couple of months depending on what EA do with the game and how they patch it. But hopefully you guys are all having fun. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying this. So, like, subscribe, and comment because you guys are amazing. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.